Here we have a new 2024 Chevy Suburban. Now this one comes in the RST trim level in black, and then we have the jet black with victory red accent leather interior. For the powertrain, we get a 5.3 liter V8. That's made it to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And not a lot of big changes for the 24 as opposed to the 23. We're supposed to get a refresh for the 25 model year. But as we come around to the front end here, LED headlamps, LED daytime running lights, front parking sensors integrated there. And still a modern look on this Suburban, even though it's been a few years since the redesign. Down here we get these 22-inch painted aluminum wheels. Passive keyless entry, all 4 doors. Running boards are there. Power door lock controls, power windows, memory seats, power mirrors that also power fold, and we do have blind spot monitors in those. If you're interested in the tow figures, conventional trailer, you can tow up to 7,800 pounds with this particular SUV. And then we have the electronic parking brake, lane keep assist, parking sensors, auto stop, 360 camera, traction control, headlamp controls, power tilt and telescoping steering wheel. Hood release is there. And then we have space here on the side. But there's the power driver's seat with 2-way power lumbar support. So have this seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3" with longer legs, my driving position. Let's go ahead and check out the rear seat room. This one does have the bench seat. We also have the Bose sound system, 9 speakers there. So let's make sure this is all the way back. And let's hop in the back here. So pretty good leg room, even with the panoramic sunroof here. I still am not touching the roof of the headliner there, so that's nice. Seat back pockets both sides, rear AC vents, 3-stage heated outboard seats. This one does have the luxury package, so that's like $3,000 or $3,400. So things like the heated outboard seats are included. Get a 3-prong household plug-in down there. Bottle holders are here. There's a view of the front from back here. And that's the sunshade on the roof. And I'll show you how it opens after a while. And there is the space for the 3rd row with me sitting up here. So pretty good space, and it's nice to have the bench seat because you're able to configure that and then still have seating for 2 right here. And let's say you want a taller person in that 3rd row, and then you just want 2 other people behind you. But USB-C ports either side. And then you can fold these hooks down. You can hang a shirt, pair of pants, something like that. I will say, I wish that GM would stick rear blinds back here for the kids. It just would make a huge difference, I think. But you can hit this to fold flat, and then there's your space. You know what? I'm gonna try this out. I'm just curious if I can make it back here. Put the seat back up. I don't know to get it back from back here, but again, you can make it work, but that's with the seats all the way up. And then you have a button here. You can fold it flat from right there. So, interesting how you're able to configure this again. Now, this is gonna be difficult getting out of this 3rd row because I didn't tumble it correctly. But fuel filler's there. We're gonna come around to the back end, take a quick look. And then the trailering equipment's stowed in there. You have your spare tire, exhaust. And a big shout out to Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro for letting me review the Suburban today. I'll leave a link below in the description. But you can power fold these 3rd row seats up or down. Still crazy space back here with this being the longer version. And what's neat is you can fold this down. And I mean, look at all that space. So you could pretty much haul anything. And then another regular plug there. And then you can just fold that back up. So I kind of already showed you how the seats fold flat. And again, you can just pull up here, folds right into the floor. And then you can just pull back up to get into space, and then pull this lever and then move it back. Well, let's take a quick look at this window sticker. Y'all can pause anywhere you need to take a closer look at anything. But this luxury package, yeah, $3,025. Get quite a bit, and then this has the optional panoramic roof. So $73,820 for that sticker price. But front passenger seats here, power with two-way power lumbar support. Side pocket again, and then the lockable glove compartment here. Now I hit the hood release, so we're gonna take a quick look in the engine bay and then hop in the driver's seat. Mostly covered up is that 5.3 liter V8. And now let's go ahead and get a first person view from behind the steering wheel here. So leather wrap steering wheel, heat's there, horn. Now over here we have the 10.2 inch Google Assistant system. So AM, FM, XM radio, Bluetooth audio, Amazon Alexa, Google News, Google Podcast. We have Google Maps, and then wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto compatibility. Trailering settings are in here. You basically just get the light test with this one. And then we get dual zone automatic climate controls, which you can use either from the screen here, which has pretty good graphics, or you have buttons and knobs down here below, along with your volume, home button, etc. Everything's pretty much what you'd expect. Then you have a USB-C, USB-A input, 12 volt wireless charging pad down there. And then we have the Wi-Fi hotspot as well. Settings are in here if you want to change your vehicle settings. We get the rear seat reminder, teen driver, buckle to drive. And then in our system settings, we can change our language right in there. We get a push button shifter, so park, reverse, neutral, drive. And then we have the limiter in that low gear we can shift manually. And then several camera views, front camera, rear camera, curbside views, trailer hitch view. So quite a bit going on. And then bottle holders are here. Center console cubby's huge, removable tray. Then you have a USB-C, USB-A charge port there. Hazards are here. And then up here we can control the universal home remote, power lift gate. We can fold that third row up or down here, and then our sunroof controls are here, OnStar there. Now with that sunshade back, that's one touch there for the sunroof. Goes all the way back, and we can one touch close it as well. But there's a look at the back from up here. And then back to the steering wheel. Cruise control can be toggled here. We do have adaptive cruise on this one in particular, how it's packaged. The gap adjust for that and the forward collision alerts there, and then we just use the cruise regularly. Trackless radio station presets can be toggled there, and then volume up or down there. Voice recognition mute, and we can go through our gauge cluster using the scroll bar and these arrows here. So I can go into the info page option and change that, or I can go back to the settings and then change the layout, including the units if I want to go from US to metric there. And then for the windshield wipers, we have automatic wipers, one time off, intermittent auto, low, high. That adjusts the intermittent or the auto frequency there, sensitivity, excuse me. And then you can push that button for that fluid. And for the rear wiper, pull that way or that way for the fluid, and then you have on, intermittent, off there. And then when the low beams are on, high beams can be toggled there, pull up to flash. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. And next, let's go ahead and take this 2024 Suburban RST out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in the Suburban here, the 5.3 does a pretty good job at getting this to drive normally. It's still relatively quick. You just have a bit more weight as opposed to the Tahoe, but again, the 5.3 does a pretty good job. The 6.2, if you want it, you can get it, but unless you just are used to having that extra power, you won't miss it. Now we can change our drive mode, so I had it in normal. We're gonna put it in sport here. You have your slippery and then your tow haul mode as well. I'm gonna give myself a little bit of space and just give it something. I'm not gonna thrash it, but I am gonna put my foot down. Here we go. So adaptive cruise is on now. And a very smooth ride here. And then this is rated to get 15 miles per gallon city, 20 highway. So that's about what I'm getting here in terms of the highway fuel economy. But I just like how solid the ride is. It's relatively smooth. Even though this is a big SUV, steering feels pretty good there. Not overly loose. And the road noise and wind noise is pretty good as well, which is what I would expect for something that's bringing close to $80,000. And this isn't even close to the highest trim you can get. But yeah, it drives pretty smoothly, pretty easy to handle. Now for the price point, I think you could go up to an Expedition Max. You could get a Wagoneer, but I just feel like this, specifically in this trim level, I feel like this is worth the money. Just compared to how much everything is costing now, I don't feel like GM tried to skimp out on a lot of things, even though there's quite a bit missing here that would be on the higher trims, including the option for Super Cruise. I'm not disappointed with how this one is spec'd out. You don't have cooled seats, but the option for the panoramic sunroof is there. With the luxury package, getting the heated outboard seats. Again, not really missing anything for this to be under 75 grand. And I think for an Expedition Max, you might not have as much luxury with that as opposed to how this one is equipped. It certainly doesn't look as good in my opinion. I just think the Suburban's okay, the Wagoneer probably has it, but the Suburban is a close second in terms of the exterior styling here. And when the 25s come out, my mind might be changed. But for now, again, it's still a pretty good SUV, even if it's not the absolute best. And a lot of that's going to be based on opinion. But powertrain wise, this does get a lifetime powertrain warranty from Chevrolet Buick GMC of Murfreesboro. And if you're looking for one of these in your neck of the woods, check the link below in the description. And you know, you can get the best pricing there, because it's more of a competitive market now than it was when these were going for 5-10 grand over sticker. So it's getting close to being a buyer's market again. Not necessarily 100% a buyer's market, but it's easier than it was. But still a pretty good SUV, solid. Can't wait to see the updates in person on the 25 model. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Chevy Suburban RST.